Travis Wayne Goodsell. I'm going to try to slip in another video for you guys as I am under full-on assault by the church, or, well, my lawsuit against them is RICO conspiracy, which means anyone who steps up to interfere in my lawsuit, who takes it upon themselves to protect and defend the church by murder, by committing crime, etc., gets the church in trouble. You guys are forgetting this. I have to keep reminding you of this. You are not the true church if the church has to cover up their crimes and sins and murders and whatever. You need to understand that. It is well established the church is not true. Well established. And I'm going over yet another example that the church has confessed themselves about. It's called Race and the Priesthood. It was one of the gospel topic essays put on their website, the church's website, churchofjesuschrist.org /study/manual/gospel-topics-essays/race- and the priesthood LANG equal English. And so yes, you can put in other languages. They have that option too. So everybody knows this. Everybody should be aware of this. And so here it is, from their own words, which it was a church service missionary who was assigned to write about this. And the brethren approved it. Whether they read it or not, that's another question. So, I'm not reading the first part, that's all fluff stuff. So here's the meat. Despite this modern reality, oh yeah? Because KUTV reported that Brigham Young's statue has been defaced with red paint and racist written on the statue. This is where the church confesses that he's a racist. So as Confederate statues and racist people in history with their statues are all being torn down right now. They're being all torn down. The church is coming. I've been warning you about this. It's here, it's now. KUTV reported it. I got it from their site. And here it is. Despite this modern reality, which they lied about, for much of its history, the church's history, from the mid-1800s, when did they arrive in the Salt Lake Valley, in Mexico territory? 1847. When is the midway point in a century? 50. Until 1978. The church did not ordain men of black African descent to its priesthood, or allow black men or women. They have to throw in women too, don't they? That's a separate issue. But they're referring to black women to participate in temple endowment or sealing ordinances. The church was established in fluff stuff. This is their justification, so I have to read it. The church was established in 1830 during an era of great racial division in the United States. At the time, many people of African descent lived in slavery, and racial distinctions and prejudice were not just common but customary among white Americans. Those realities, though unfamiliar and disturbing today, apparently not. There's an all-out assault again, as black men are being slaughtered by the police and discriminated against and tortured by our government. Influenced all aspects of people's lives, including their religion. Many Christian churches of that era, for instance, were segregated along racial lines, sort of like having a separate church just for blacks, like the Genesis group, right, Mormons? From the beginnings of the church, people of every race and ethnicity could be baptized and received as members. Toward the end of his life, church founder Joseph Smith openly opposed slavery. Yes, because he was running for president, and on his party platform pamphlet, he was an abolitionist. It was not Joseph. But you see what they did there. They said from the mid-1800s, which is 1850, which is with Brigham Young, not Joseph. He was murdered in 1844. Joseph was opposed to slavery, but they're not talking about Brigham Young here until we get down to two more. So here they vindicate Joseph, talking about Elijah Abel receiving his temple ceremonies in Kirtland, Ohio, and then was doing baptisms for the dead when they started that. Though I don't want to go into tangents. Don't do tangents. Don't talk about William Morgan. There is no reliable evidence. Yeah, he didn't deny priesthood. It was Brigham Young. In a private church council 3 years after Joseph Smith's death, Brigham Young praised Q. Walker Lewis. Why did you throw that in? Because in the next paragraph, in 1852, President Brigham Young publicly announced that men of black African descent could no longer be ordained to the priesthood. Don't put in the token when it's clear he's the racist that caused all this. I forgot to shut the bathroom door when I last used it. The sink, it's got some smell coming out of it. Maybe if I poured bleach down it or something. Let's see. Following the death of Brigham Young, subsequent church presidents restricted blacks further. And interracial marriages also was banned. I'm not sure if it was Brigham though, but let's see. Yeah, here they're trying to justify it. Even so, racial discrimination was widespread in the North as well as the South. There's people on both sides who were racist. It was the popular thing to do. It's not an excuse. Joseph Smith didn't use it as his excuse. And now they're trying to say that the Supreme Court, the Supreme Court made it a decision that no rights which the white man was bound to respect for blacks, 1857 Supreme Court decision. So nonsense, guys. That's not an excuse to violate what Jesus would have done, because we can read what he did. And though it wasn't with blacks, it was with Gentiles. The woman at the well, for example, she was not a Jew, and so he wasn't going to treat her. And he even called her, called her a dog. And she said, well, even dogs have the scraps that fall from the master's table. And then he softened his heart. Let's see. In two speeches delivered before the Utah Territorial Legislature in February and January 1852, Brigham Young announced a policy restricting black men, African descent, from priesthood ordination. Brigham Young said that at the same time, black members would have all the privileges more enjoyed by other members. They sort of took that out of context. Just like they did in his teachings manual for priesthood and relief society concerning polygamy. The justifications for this restriction echoed the widespread ideas and racial inferiority that had been used to argue for legislation of black servitude in the territory of Utah. According to one view, which had been promulgated in the United States from the 1730s, blacks descended from biblical Cain, blah, blah, blah. Even after 1852, at least 2 black Latter-day Saints continued to hold the priesthood. Well, yeah, he didn't take it away from them. He just did ban others from getting it. Curse of Cain was often put forward as the justification. By the late 1940s and 50s, racial integration was becoming more common in American life, and the church ramped up their campaign of racism. David O. McKay emphasized that restriction extended only to men of black African descent. Church had always allowed Pacific Islanders. Trying to claim that he was the good guy, just like my mother. Oh, my parents were worse racist than I am. That does not justify you being racist. Is the church okay? So they're yeah, but you see, Brigham Young is the one who gave the order. They put it on Brigham Young. They condemn him as a racist without condemning him. I thought they had something on there. Yeah, they don't directly call him a racist, but they say that he's responsible for it. And we're supposed to just believe it was revelation from God. Oh, he was protecting the blacks by denying them eternal exaltation. That's a white supremacist tactic, if you didn't know. Uh-oh. Thought my internet went down again. Oh no, it's struggling to process. Oh no, 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 no. Come on, guys. No, 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 no. We're having trouble saving your video. Retry in 1 second. Ah! No! Ah. Those bastards. Oh, it did go down. Oh, son of a... Oh. Leave. Those bastards. Shut me down again. Is it back up again? Not on all of them. You're still not up. Come on. Why aren't you working and the others are appearing to work? Yeah, no, that's not working. It's giving the appearance of working. Okay, now that's connected again. So why are you having trouble here? See, this is... I'm under attack, guys. Or maybe they've gone after YouTube now. Oh, YouTube. Because YouTube is not pulling up. The internet's back. YouTube. Come on. I've got internet service. What's going on? They are messing with me here. Site cannot be reached. DNS address cannot be found. YouTube. Oh, now they shut me down. So no internet. Says it's connected. Come on. Yep, no, it's back down again. Yeah, I'm going to have to make a phone call, and I can save this video and then upload it, as I'll have to click save when I get back the internet.